Okay. We're here today with Colonel J.D. LUNDHOLM of the Vice Wing Commander of the 144th Fighter Wing, Vice Commander, is that correct? At Fresno Yosemite International Airport. And he's here today for a scoping process on potential environmental impacts of a move of fighter aircraft from the Air National Guard base to NAS LEMOORE. And so, Colonel, could you explain, there's a couple issues here. There's an environmental process, and there's also a process involving the additional aircraft coming down here. So could you explain that, what's involved today, what you're doing?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So there's a proposal to convert the 144 Fighter Wing to the F-35A. And the two proposals that are there are to keep the F-35A at the Fresno Yosemite International Airport at the 144 Fighter Wing in Fresno, California. And there's a proposal to move to LEMOORE Naval Air Station with the F-35A. The environmental impact public scoping that we're doing right now is to allow the community from LEMOORE, Hanford, and Visalia to come out and review the proposals, as well as put down or document any concerns that they have, so that when we do environmental assessments and scoping, we can address all the issues that they may have and answer those in public hearings. That will happen in about 18 months to 24 months.
So they can submit written comments, and there are meetings scheduled in Fresno also.
There was a public scoping forum yesterday.
Okay.
There's another virtual scoping meeting that we're having August 25th.
August 25th, what time?
About the same time. It'll be between about 1400 and about 2000.
Okay. So
those
2 o'clock to 8 o'clock?
Yes, those 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
That information is available. I'll provide that website, and the website will be provided as well.
All right.
So that folks can go online if they weren't able to make the LEMOORE public scoping tonight, or they weren't able to make yesterday's public scoping meetings in Fresno. They can go online and get online and listen to us virtually and pose any questions or concerns that they have at that point.
Okay, and we'll post that information. What is the reason for you're currently flying F-15s, and what would be the reason for switching to the F-35s?
So the F-15C that we currently have is nearing the end of its airframe life. We've got airplanes that have close to 8,000 to 9,000 hours on them. They came off the assembly line in the early 80s.
Okay.
And some airplanes that even came off in the late 1970s.
Okay.
So they're ending the end of their airframe life. So a replacement airplane is required.
Okay.
And that's one of the airplanes is the F-35A. And if we modernize to a 5th generation airplane, then we can operate the 144 Fighter Wing and sit homeland defense in a modern 5th gen airplane that will replace the F-15C.
Okay, and now, just to be clear, you could remain in Fresno, or you could come to LEMOORE. There are different options.
There's two proposals.
Okay.
One is to stay put in Fresno and modernize and operate the F-35A out of Fresno. The other proposal is moving to LEMOORE Naval Air Station and operating the F-35 out of LEMOORE Naval Air Station. And what that could potentially bring is socioeconomic improvements, as well as good synergy and interoperability between us, the 144 Fighter Wing, that's an Air Force, Air National Guard unit, with the Navy.
Okay, and you said that there would be potential cost savings by basing, if they were based at one location.
Yeah, there could be some cost savings. Obviously, there's going to be some expenses with regards to infrastructure and buildings and hangars and different facilities. But certainly being on a base with LEMOORE Naval Air Station, there's some shared cost with the runways already being in place and some infrastructure being in place, as well as contractors being in place from Boeing for the F-35A.
And there are some environmental advantages to being down here because you're in a rural area versus the urban area of Fresno. Could you address that a little bit?
Yeah, there's certainly, I mean, we don't really have those answers yet because the full scope of the full assessment and impact studies haven't been done. So that's what we're having done right now is having the public come out and address any concerns they have. Certainly the isolated base that the LEMOORE Naval Air Station provides, certainly we would think that some of the noise impact or environmental impacts may be limited, but we don't know that until we do the full scope of the assessment.
If you were to move down here, how many aircraft are we talking about?
You would be talking anywhere from 21 to 25 aircraft.
And what about personnel? If you move the 144th Fighter Wing, how many personnel do you have? How many would come down here?
Currently, you're looking at about 1,200, approximately 1,200 guardsmen that would be coming from the 144th Fighter Wing that would relocate from Fresno, California to LEMOORE Naval Air Station in LEMOORE, California.
Okay.
Of those, about 55% of them are full-time, and they've got full-time positions either as civil servants or as AGRs, and the other 45% of those folks are drill status guardsmen that are part-timers that go 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year, and are normally working within the community at with their civilian employers.
Okay, so your environmental report will be at least 18 to 24 months away, is that right?
Yeah, before it comes out and is announced, and all the impacts from the study are announced and publicly and addressed in public hearings with the community.
And then when would we know whether the basing decision would be down here or you'd remain in Fresno? When would we know that?
You know what, I can't answer that question. I would imagine the first thing that has to happen is that we get an announcement on the fighter roadmap and what airplane that we're going to convert the F-15C to.
Okay.
So one of the airplanes is obviously F-35 for LEMOORE, but if we stay put in Fresno, we could potentially go to the F-35 or the F-15EX.
Okay, which is a later model, correct?
Which is the Eagle 2, F-15EX Eagle 2,
Yeah.
which is a modern F-15C platform with a lot of modernization efforts on it.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Bye.